We will go ahead and jump right in. This is our agenda for today. First, I'm going to explain why me? Why did Marvin invite me to come speak? We're going to talk about all things communication, everything that your club can do to get out your mission, to hopefully recruit more members. So we're going to go through websites, yeah, Canva. Who else heard of Canva or uses Canva? Good, a lot. Email, I'm going to give kind of a high level on email, and then Don is going to do the next breakout, and he's going to get to a lot of detail on Club Express. So I'll talk a little bit about why you need the email platform, other media, and you only do 3 things. This is what you should do. And then we'll have questions. Wrap it up. So my name is Christa Pichler, and I am so happy to be here. I am a cradle Catholic, and I just think throughout my life how grateful I am that I was able to grow up with my faith. I spent 17 and a half years working for a Class 1 railroad, so I had a job, meds, income, nice and comfortable. And then I went on a silent retreat. It was life-changing, to say the least. I spent a lot of time in meditation, had wonderful presenters, but I spent a lot of time in Eucharistic adoration. And while in adoration, I had probably the most powerful experience of the Lord calling me to something different. And became inspired to quit my corporate job and start my small business doing website design and social media management with the exclusive intent of working with Catholic entities, Catholic churches, nonprofits. This wasn't totally crazy because I did have an undergraduate degree in graphic design. My MBA, I had an emphasis in entrepreneurship. As we know, God's building us, God's working on us. He's kind of laying the groundwork for what he might call us to do. So that is why I do what I do now. I've been blessed also to be a Serra Club member. My very first website that I got to design as part of my business was for the Serra Club of West Omaha. My dear friend Jolene, some of you probably know her as our past president, said, sure, we'll hire you. So that was my first job with Remnant Marketing. But through that, I have had the awesome opportunity to work with lots of different entities, a number of Serra clubs coast to coast. So in addition to being able to do what I do, websites and social media, I've really been able to understand what has worked for this Serra club. What does this Serra club do that they are finding success with? And so I love to be able to be a trusted advisor for you as well. So I'm not a salesperson. I've done all the trade shows in my former life where people kind of walk by, they don't want to talk to you. I'm not going to hard sell you on anything. It's fun for me. It's fun for me to get to talk to each of you and see what your Serra club is doing. And so I'll add some of that in as we talk as well, that I see this club doing this and they're finding success with it. And I just have passion for the mission. It's amazing. Just to digress for a minute, my husband became Catholic in 2010. And he's now on his 5th or 6th trip through Bible in a year. And he has said, I felt so cheated. I didn't know all this wisdom that was in the Bible. And it's just fun to see that in him, see his growth and just know that how cool it is. So cool to be Catholic and have the great faith that we do. So enough about me. Let's talk about websites. As Dawn asked earlier, how many people have heard of Club Express? Quite a few. Great. That's awesome. That means the message is getting out. We'll talk about Club Express. The platform that I build in other than Club Express is WordPress, and we'll talk about that. And then ultimately, best practices. Regardless of what you do for your website, this is what you really should have on your homepage to be successful in getting your message out. So Club Express. Little picture here of the Serra Club Phoenix. I had the honor of helping them with their website. It is awesome that this platform is provided free of charge to the clubs. And not only can you do your website in Club Express, you have a bunch of other tools, the database, event management, payments. We all paid to register for the conference here through Club Express ultimately, and then the email capabilities. And so while the platform is entirely free to Serra clubs to utilize, if you would like me to do your website, there's just a nominal fee for that, but it's one time. You get the hosting ongoing for free and the support from the platform. And so it's a great option for your Serra club website. A couple things that I would just mention about the Club Express platform is it really works best for a one-page website. And so you can have all of your main information and you just scroll down through that homepage. Works really great. And you'll see the majority of the Club Express websites that are done today are on there. And there's Serra in there. They have a lot of plug and play blocks. So you can add form, you can add a calendar. There's lots of different things that come in the Club Express platform that you can add to that page. I say that there's not plugin or feature add-ons because with the WordPress platform that I work with, I mean, the sky's the limit. Everything you can imagine. There's a plugin, there's an add-on that you can put on your website. So if you want all the bells and whistles, pretty much the sky's the limit, and that would be on the WordPress platform. But you don't necessarily need all of that. Another thing just to point out about the Club Express platform is that ultimately all of those websites are part of one big website. And so being able to look at the analytics for your individual page, like connecting it to Google Analytics, which most people like to do, you aren't able to look at the Google Analytics for just your page within Club Express. And then you can't also do the search engine. There's different things that you do on a website that can help the search engines find you. When I've done Club Express websites, I always go out and search and say, okay, is Google finding this website? And for the most part, I've been successful in finding all the Club Express websites. If you know the exact club name, some of the other things might not be as intuitive for the search engines to find your website, but that's okay because you're going to be telling them about it with social media and your emails and talking to your parishes. So it's a great option for having your website out there. And then the user interface, I don't think Don's going to do website much when he talks in the next session. But the user interface is pretty similar for the emails and the website. So WordPress, the other alternative, Serra Club of Spokane decided to go with this option, gives you a multi-page website. So you can have lots of different content there. It is mobile friendly, so you can see it on your tablet and your phone, and you can make adjustments based on what the mobile look is. And then, like I said, all those customizable features, the SEO gives you a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more opportunity there. And then it integrates with your email platforms and social media. So if you aren't using Club Express that already does it all together, you can connect this to an email platform. So like if you're using MailChimp or something like Flocknote, a lot of parishes use that. There's the integration possibility there. So the drawbacks, got to tell you the drawbacks on this one too. It does have a cost. It is a monthly fee to host that website, but you do have the more additional pages, but then you've got to maintain the additional pages. Yes.
Who hosts it? WordPress that one?
I offer hosting. There's other places that offer hosting. You can go directly through WordPress for hosting. There's different options. So I charge $50 a month for hosting, but that includes that I am checking your website every month to make sure that everything is current as far as your plugins and your themes, and that if anything breaks, I'm troubleshooting it. You can set up your own account for as little as like $2 a month, but you don't get the troubleshooting and support with that. Good question. More pages to maintain. So the trade-off is you want more pages, you want more content. I'm going to show you some examples, but then you have to keep it current. That's my number one pointer for anybody with a website. Just keep it updated. If your homepage says that you last met in 2021, people are going to wonder about it. So just keep it current. So best practices. This is for, and if you have your program split on pages 28 and 29, you've got a little worksheet if you want to take notes about presentation and some of my recommendations. But your best practices with a website is you want the first thing that they see to be the name of your club, something about your mission. Here we've got a quote from St. Univero Serra. You want people to immediately know who you are and what you're about. We're not the seer. In this day and age, everybody has such a short attention span. We're scrolling on our phones. If we don't see something interesting, we don't stop and look at it. So this picture from Adoration is just gorgeous. Like, how cool. I want to do Adoration like that. And so how do you have a compelling image, draw people into what you're doing, and then really say, why should you join us? And so the mission right there at top really helps to inspire me. You really want simple navigation with your most important information. Here you've got the menu going across the top. You can quickly and easily see if you want to see the calendar, what are their events, what's about. If you only do three links, I say about, they want to know what your club is about, events. The best way to get people to your events is that personal invitation, inviting the people sitting next to you at church. But otherwise, have it on your website. Make it super easy for them to find. Maybe they've attended one event. They want to see when your next monthly meeting is. Have events easy to find, and then donate. I think everybody helps raise funds to support seminarians. Yes.
So just so I understand, I'm not understanding all the terms, because so like on Club Express, can you do the things across the top and have links to other pages, or I mean that doesn't work on that. You have to go down, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. See if I can screenshot. So the way that Club Express works, or the way that I've designed it for clubs, is you don't have a menu like this.
Right.
I put buttons across.
Okay.
And I can pop out to that at the end and show you. So it's kind of like we created a menu, but it's like 4 or 5 buttons that then you click the button and it drops you down to that section on the page. Right. And that is the nice part about a single homepage or a single page, is that you can either click, drop, or scroll. Because some people are like, I want to read everything. I'm going to take my time. Some people are like, just take me to that part. And so you have both options there. So the menu, the way that I have it laid out, I'm going to go back to, let's go this way. Like the Serra Club North Houston, below this, they have their main events. And then there is like a row of buttons so that you can jump down, or you can just scroll down to find that content. And so it is just a little bit different instead of the buttons. Good question. And like I said, current, just keep it current. Have it updated. And so I showed the drop down here for Philadelphia. What we do, you've got your events, prayer speakers. If you go under club news, they've got their videos. And so just keep it current. That's the biggest recommendation I can make. And then photos. People love to see people. They love to see people engaging with your seminarians. They like to see your holy hours. Anything with pictures really helps draw people in. Here's an example of mobile responsive, how the website adjusts. That's really important because so many of us are on our phones. When you look at the analytics on the back end of a WordPress site, you can see 50% of my users are looking at this on their desktop. 20% are looking on their mobile. 30 are doing tablet. And so then you can say, well, if most of my people, or maybe you've got 70% of your people are looking at it on desktop, like the majority of people are looking at it on a big screen. And so let's make sure that it's really easy and engaging on a big screen. But you want it on all the screens to work. So now let's move on to social media. Who all has a social media platform for their club? Cool. Okay. Which platform?
Facebook.
Facebook
and Instagram.
And have Instagram. Okay. So we're going to talk about the differences between these platforms and what to post. So Facebook is the #1 platform that I would recommend for Serra clubs. 71% of US adults say that they use it, and it's also the most widely used globally. And the main reason that I talk about Facebook being best for this demographic, for Serra club members, is because that's where your members are most likely to be. The age range, 30 to 64, that's even gotten higher now, is most likely Serra club members. Interestingly, this is also what I recommend for churches trying to get people re-engaged to come back to the faith. But this is a great way to just share what you're doing. As you can see here, the Serra Club of West Omaha, this was our induction mass. So that's our main picture. Again, like I said, you want to see people. So we're blessed to have a number of priests there and the bishop. Social media posts about your events. We've got a picture of our seminarians there. Just anything to really show what you're doing. If people Google your Serra Club, you want not only your website to pop up, but your Facebook page or Instagram if you've got it. And so by being active on your social media, people are going to find you. Down in the lower right is our events. If you've ever clicked interested on a Facebook event, it will pop up other events that are similar. So if you have your events published there, someone might find out about your event because they said they wanted to go to the induction fest, or they said they wanted to go to a holy hour, not necessarily by your club, but parishes have holy hours. Maybe they'll find your event by being on there. So Instagram, I tried to find a Serra Club page, so I'll have to see if what's your club?
Serra Club Miami.
Miami, okay. Because I wanted to show an example of a Serra Club Instagram and I couldn't find one. So this is going to be a platform that's more widely used, likely by the discerners, their age group. So if you're posting content like our Newman Center in Omaha, our vocations director actually lives at our Newman Center. It's a residence hall where not all of them are. So they're doing a lot of really cool things. They are right there in the heart of where there are discerners. And so Instagram is really a great place for this. If you feel like your club is already doing really cool things that would inspire discerners, absolutely get enriched. If you've got content that's going to inspire someone to go on a retreat or go to a come and see and learn more about it, Instagram's a good place to be. You only have time for one platform, I recommend Facebook. But you can do it all. It's okay. LinkedIn, I couldn't find any Serra clubs either. Got a lot of Sierra clubs to come up when I searched on LinkedIn. But the Catholic Future Foundation of the Archdiocese of Omaha is one of my clients, and I help them with all their platforms. And it's a good place potentially to recruit members. This is a kind of a good age range to recruit Serra Club members. So if you are already posting, you could absolutely put it up on LinkedIn. I don't see it as probably active for Serra clubs, but if you feel like that's an audience that you want to target, it's a good platform as well. And the nice thing is you can really post the same content across all of the platforms. It's just kind of saying, where do I want to focus my effort? Where do I think I'll have the best engagement? And I would still say Facebook. So YouTube was kind of a different beast, but still in the social media realm. This is a great place, obviously, to post videos. And so the Serra Club of Philadelphia, they still hold their meetings on Zoom. And so they record all of them. And so they put their speaker meetings up on YouTube. YouTube is best for that long format video. And so if you are already recording things, if you're already saving these videos, it's a great platform to host on. One, because it's super easy to embed on your website, super easy to embed on social media, and it already does all of the platform posting for you through YouTube. So it's great to just have a multi-layer. So YouTube is good. Again, if you're only doing one, I would say Facebook, but this has a little bit different purpose than your other social media platforms. So what should you post? Keep it simple, keep it short. Again, attention spans are very, very short. Share what you already are capturing. If you're already taking pictures at your meetings, you're already, maybe you're already putting together seminarian profiles that you're sharing in bulletins. That's easy. You've already got it done, put it up on your social media as well. The biggest thing is being consistent. The algorithm, they keep changing it. Nobody knows really how the algorithm works, but if you are consistently posting, you are consistently sharing content that people engage with, it is going to show up more in the algorithm. And that is also super, super important, is engaging. So say I post that I've got a meeting coming up. I share it on the Serra Club of West Omaha platform. And somebody comments, can't wait to hear that speaker. I should go comment again. I should be like, can't wait to see you at the event, invite your friends, like their comment. The interaction that you get on your posts helps other people see it. Especially if, for example, you're having an event and your diocese shares it on their social media. That helps it get exposed not only to your followers and their followers, but it also shows it to other people that have liked similar content. So anything you could do to engage with your own posts, get your diocese to share it, get your parishes to share it. Maybe you do the social media of your club and your parish. You can go share it on both. Anything to get that kind of cross-pollination really helps increase the exposure to what you are doing. So Canva, we had some hands. People have used Canva. Yeah, am I talking too fast? I haven't.
You're good. No, you're good.
Okay, I can try to slow down. Okay, so Canva, we're gonna talk about what it is, why, and how. It sounds like a fair amount of people are familiar with it. It is a user-friendly graphic design software that anybody can get. You can use it on a web browser, you can download it onto your computer. Anybody can start it for free, and as a nonprofit, you can get the upgraded version for free as well. But it really is cool because it allows you to make those graphic designs that look like you spent a lot of money having a graphic design firm do them, but you did them yourself. And you can make them with your brand colors, your Serra colors. But I do want to give you a little bit of a crash course in graphic design. So this is Holy Family Shrine outside Gretna, Nebraska is one of my clients. And so the blue, I don't have very good contrast there on this projector. But anyway, it's just, it's important that you use a font that's easy to read. So like I've got Glory and a script font just to add a little bit of interest, but otherwise it's really easy to read the rest of it. It's pops. The color on white on the dark blue background is really easy to read. Visually impaired, colorblind, if you don't have enough contrast, they're not going to be able to read that. And then you don't want to layer unless it's really obvious why you're layering. So for example, I don't have my words covering the shrine because then it could kind of be confusing. People would spend time worrying about like, why is it layered over the shrine when you've got all this space? So let me give you a contrasting design where you've got white font on what is a white wall with a little shadow. You've got the words overlapping a little bit, which I would say if I wanted to clean this up, I would make the font just a nice clean font, like this is a Serif font instead of scripty. Maybe have one word that's script to kind of add some interest. But that's your crash course in graphic design. To really just make sure you want people to look at your design and not be like, why did they overlap it a little bit on the brown? Instead of reading what it says and taking away the message of what it says. So now you're all equipped to be graphic designers. Got Canva, and there's your crash course. Well, why should you use it? Sometimes you're like, I don't know if I have time to learn a new platform. I don't know if I have time to do something new. It is pretty straightforward and easy. Here's just a screenshot of a bunch of shrine designs that I have made. They have tons of free templates. And so you can go in there and you can open up a template that's already designed. It's already got the words. It's already got like spaces to put pictures, and you just plug in your pictures and your words. It's cost effective. Like I said, it's free. And to use it is much like opening a Word document. You go File, New, opens up this look here. You can choose, it's really tiny. I know you can't see all this, but like you can choose text, you can choose elements, you can choose shapes. They actually have a lot of really great Catholic graphics. There's beautiful pictures of monstrances, crucifix, confessionals. If nothing else, you've got a great library of graphics and pictures that you can use to promote your events. I'm honestly shocked how beautiful the monstrance pictures are that they've got.
And where are those, like in images?
Yes, you would go to, it's called Elements. Elements, and then select photos. The Eucharist, there's lots of great pictures in there. So if you don't have some already from your holy hours, you can use some really cool ones there. And there's lots of online training videos. So just a quick little reference in case you want to start dabbling in that. Yes.
One drawback, it is secular and it's for profit. And so you're going to see a lot of garbage images too. So be discriminating. You're living in a world that, like you would never put on a Catholic website,
Yes.
Immediately. And they've only just got these images that you're describing with monstrances and stuff. I used to always have to import my own imagery from another site. I don't know if it's still free or not, but LPI, Liturgical Publications Incorporated, has a site called We Create, and you can get free in there and get imagery for tied to the liturgical year. It's all Catholic, and I use a lot of my graphics out of that platform and then design them in Canva.
Another one that has some free, some paid is Pick. Has some good images as well. You're exactly right. You're going to see some images in Canva that are like, but you can find some really good ones as well. Pretty much anything you want. Ping, JPEG, PDF. Yep, you can make some house there. Yeah, pretty much anything.
And you can even print. So like we design invitations to events and then pay to have it printed, and they mail us the cards, the envelopes, and whatever, and then we just mail it to certain events where you do the old fashioned.
And if you design an invitation like that, over on the right panel, it will even pop up and say, hey, do you want us to print this for you? And so it makes it very easy to select that option. Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about what's the ideal size graphic that you want and what it is.
Yes, it's funny because they keep changing them. So Instagram is now using, I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but it's more of a vertical alignment, and Facebook is more of a horizontal. And so if you're creating graphics and you're going to post them across platforms, sometimes you'll see that they don't look perfect on Instagram because you use the Facebook dimensions, but Canva will do it for you. If you go into Canva and say, I want a new Facebook post, it'll pop it up with the dimensions that you've already made. And same thing with Instagram. It used to be that Instagram loved the 1080 by 1080 square, perfect square. And so I got in a habit of using that because it looked good on all the platforms. And so if I'm posting across platforms, I'll a lot of times do a square graphic. That way I don't have to redo it a bunch of times. But if you're using Facebook versus Instagram, it will automatically set up the dimensions for you so that it's the most favorable one.
Right. That was a good topic. I was thinking of file topic.
Oh, yes. Similar thing. If you say I'm going to do a Facebook post, it will go ahead and make it the pixel dimensions so that it's not too big of a kilobyte to download and upload to the platforms as well.
When you put an image on a web page, you don't want to have a 1 megabyte
Yes.
image on there.
Yes.
Page all.
Yes.
That's what else. So you need to be aware of that.
And Canva, again, if you so you drag in a big image, a really big image into Canva, you create it in a design and you export it, Canva is still going to help you export it in the right size so it's not huge or tiny. You can tell if you grow an image that's really small and you drop it into Canva, it'll drop it in small and you'll be able to see if you blow it up that it becomes pixelated. So it's pretty helpful that it does help you size the files the right way, and you can see pretty clearly if it's going to be too small of a picture, because that definitely hurts as well. Yes.
Canva Premium will allow you to do. If you've got something that you've made for Instagram and you want to get the same thing on Facebook, but you want a little different format, you can copy it and resize it automatically. It takes all the content and everything and puts it in the new size. You might have to move things around a little bit in the new size, but it does allow you to input them easily. Create the exact same thing in its four different format.
That's true.
Can you voice activate the zipper commands that you want to do? Can you talk to them? So downsize this?
I have not done that yet. I mean, anymore with AI, you can do about anything you want, but I have not tried to talk to Canva yet. I know they have an AI built in, but I'm not sure if you can voice activate it. Yes.
So going back to the Phone Express, John, if you have a password or?
If you have a website, you can buy whatever domain you want it on, and Don will set it up so it goes to your domain.
Does Phone Express have a name built in? Or is it just?
So the tool is Club Express. If you don't have your own domain, you can have like do they set it up as a subdomain, right? Like the Serra Club of Phoenix .serrainternational.org, or is it /?
CLMO, St. Louis Mo. Serra International.
Yes. Yeah. So
We do not. So we do not because we have a domain.
a subdomain.
There's a domain under there.
So Serra International can set up what's called a subdomain. That's when it's stl.serrainternational.org, and they generally can set those up for free. A subdomain you can do for free, or if you want your own, like ours is serrawest.omaha.org, you pay for that. And it's generally about $20 a year on average to own a domain.
You may also need a license for
Security, the
HTTPS.
security certificate, yeah, is generally, and has Serra International been paying for the SSLs? I can't remember.
I think we get like 5 for free, but if we want more than that pay. And that'll be a question. If a lot of clubs want to do that, then we'll have to make a decision. Sarah International is going to pay for it out of their budget.
Okay,
Yeah, club, charges to the clubs.
sure.
It's not a lot of money, but
Yeah.
To get a certificate generally costs money, and Club Express has a way of getting certificates at a low price.
Mhm. So what he's talking about is the security certificate. So if you go to a website and it's just HTTP, sometimes you'll get a warning and it says, don't go here, don't click through. HTTPS means that it's a secure site. And that's what he's talking about, the certificate per website.
My only friend situation where I didn't have a certificate,
Mhm.
and because it was hosted on the Club Express platform, a lot of browsers that people had in different places loaded it just fine, but there were certain people, when they tried to load it, they got a warning that it was not a secure site. So we went ahead and got a certificate for them, and that fixed the problem.
Yep. All right, so let's jump into email marketing. Dawn's going to give us a lot of detail, but I'm going to give you a little detail. So email marketing platforms are very important to use because you want to, one, be compliant. The FCC can blacklist your email if you're not compliant, which means you have to have an unsubscribe link and you have to be sender verified. So if you send an email, and actually Google and Yahoo both cracked down on this just at the end of last calendar year. If you send an email from Christa@gmail.com and I send it out to 100 email addresses, now a lot of those receivers are blocking that email entirely because it's not coming from serrawestomaha.org, for example. You want to have your emails to be compliant, to have the sender verification. You want to have that professional email address that is Christa@serrawestomaha.org.
I've been asked how many emails, like different organizations, including the Sarah Club, because I know some just break it into 4 parts or whatever, so no more than one. Is there some sort of a magic number where you run into a problem with that?
Only if you aren't using an email marketing
And
platform.
that's what I'm talking.
Yeah, so
We have people that are sending them from, there's a club member that's sending them from their personal email. But if there's too many, they break it up into different, but I've heard different schools of thought as to how many gets that red flag.
well, if I'm perfectly honest, I'd say don't use your personal email.
Yeah.
But I've heard that same thing, that some people will get 100 emails would be fine, some would 25. Yeah.
I think go down here.
And then can change it anytime.
Yeah.
Right, so we have a Google Gmail account, and we had a problem of 75 or more. So now that we moved to Club Express, we don't have that issue.
Great. Yes.
That thing about we've been like a Club Express,
Right.
They're attaching
you can have all those platforms,
Oh,
email, post. To make sure that their mail coming from their post is not in spam.
The other thing you might keep in mind is, I do communications for our parish. When we had emails going out from educatorparish.org, which is fine, it's like people that had Gmail, it was putting them in their promotion folder. Because there are keywords that maybe in your email, you might, and I don't know what else you for, and you're writing down, and you can make, I'm sure, and actually changing too. And so, yeah, just as, like one of them we just That's a big red flag, those are the keywords, and going to a lot of people, Google has got where they feel like they don't deny them, but they end up using promotions. And a lot of them that they have.
Well, one of the really important things, especially with Gmail, is when that happens, is you want to make sure you move that email to your inbox, because then it trains emails that come from Serra or the church. Right, right. So it's tough because you want to use the tools that help you with your best chance of getting it delivered, but then you also have to communicate to the club when you get a chance, be like, okay, make sure you're looking for these in spam or in promotions, drag them to your inbox because you want to train your inbox that these are good emails. And then even just to let them know you might have to check spam when you first get started. Once they get in a good routine, once you're sending emails regularly, it's more likely that you won't have those issues. The other thing is it just gives you a more professional appearance. If I'm sending it from Christa at Gmail, some people are like, oh yeah, that's cool. Some people are like, when I get so much spam, I'm going to delete this one. Like they don't necessarily know, but if it's coming from Serra, you're going to recognize that, be like, that's a legitimate email. I want to read that. Ability to segment lists. I think this is really, really helpful. If you've got your members, you've got your friends of Serra, they maybe haven't joined yet. So you maybe want to send a specific message to them that says, come to our next open access event. Maybe you've got clergy and you want to send something specific to them about the Christmas party. You can segment your lists and you don't have to do that every time you open your email. They're already grouped. So you're like, this is my email going to my priest to tell them about the Christmas party or whatever it might be. That's really helpful with the marketing tool. And then being able to track your open rates, track your click-throughs. How many people are actually looking at your email? Something that also is another more recent development, especially with Gmail and Yahoo, is they will return that the email was opened because Gmail searches it for those words that you were talking about to decide, is this going in the inbox? Is this going in spam? And so sometimes it looks like that user opened their email. So open rates aren't as reliable as they used to be. So you send an email, you get a note that says 50% of people opened. That is more recently inflated because of the way that the emails are being processed. So a better rate to look at is your click-through if you've got like an RSVP link. But it's also good just to look at. Over time, if you're sending emails from now till the end of this calendar year, your open rates are going to be all on the same meter, if that makes sense. Like you're going to have that inflation because of Gmail opening them for them, but at least they'll all be kind of on the same scale, if that makes sense. I'm just going to quickly give you, and Dawn named some of these too. There's other options. Most of these are going to be paid. Some of them you can start with like a free version. When you grow, you upgrade. The Archdiocese of Omaha allows our Serra clubs to use the Flocknote account that they have. So we technically use Flocknote for free. Very similar. I mean, you get templates, you can save templates, you can do kind of drag and drop design. And then if you want to grow, obviously Club Express, we've talked about all the different sizes there, but like you could start with a free account on some of these platforms. And then if you get over 1,000 members, that's when you start paying for them. So they're flexible that you don't have to pay for them right off the get-go if you don't have any people on your email list. But just thought I'd throw out alternatives just if that was something you're interested in. So quickly, best practices for email. You're going to find these are similar to best practices for websites because everybody's got the short attention span. So you want your email header to be clean and clear. Who's it coming from? You want to hit your main important things. In this case, they send an email out the first week of the month to announce the speaker. And so that is the top thing. If you read nothing else in this email, they want you to at least see the date of the meeting and who's speaking. If you want to learn more, there's a button to read their bio. They've got vocations events that are coming up. Check out our website. Not shown in this screenshot, but that's really important across all emails is you want to have that consistent footer that lists your Serra Club name, maybe has your social media profiles, and it's got that unsubscribe link. Most platforms are going to automatically put that unsubscribe link because it's required. If it's not automatically there, it's usually really easy to set that up because you want to make sure that if someone wants to unsubscribe, you don't get yourself in trouble by not actually taking them off the list because they can report you. And does anybody know what TLDR means?
Too long didn't read.
Too long to read. Don't do it. Don't make it too long.
Say that shorter than.
So, and also like, look at how it's broken up. So like, you've got a color to indicate moving on to a different topic. Your buttons are bright. I always recommend a button over a hyperlink because a button is going to stand out and grab your attention if you want to read more. Because you want it to be scannable, but you also want them to be able to find out more information if they really want to see more. Other media, I'm going to hit this all together in one thing, and then we can have some questions at the end. But obviously, texting is huge. You're going to know if you feel like that's the right fit for your club. Some clubs are like, texting is the way to go. Some clubs are like, I want to do everything. I'm sending emails. I got social media. I'm sending text messages. It's a great option. I've got just a screenshot from our club up above that they send a little graphic of the upcoming event and a little reminder about what's happening. Brochures are always really good to have. The Serra Club of Spokane made up these flyers that they put in the back of all the parishes so people can learn more about the Serra Club, QR codes. It's so funny. I feel like people either love QR codes or they hate them. I'm never using that thing. But if you've got it, it doesn't take up too much space and it makes it easy to scan it with your phone. Yes.
The thing I hate the most about QR codes, they're for print materials.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
don't email me and you don't have a thing for me to click to get to your website and you give me your QR code. And I go, what am I supposed to do from my phone with a QR code?
That's another thing that Canva can do for you for free. Canva, the design software we looked at, you can put any web address in there and it'll make a QR code for you. There's other websites that'll do it as well. Sometimes they'll let you do 10 and then they want to charge you. But if that's the only reason you get Canva, it's totally worth it because it's nice to make.
And they're permanent.
I'm sorry.
They're permanent.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not like.
Unless you change the tab. Like if your website used to be Serra.Omaha and now it's Serra.Omaha or Serra.Omaha.any, then it won't work. But as long as you don't change the web address, that's good to go. But other clubs I've seen, they do current card books, bookmarks with their seminarians on it. So anything that you could brand with your Serra logo and your Serra information and like I can't remember the club now. They do these bookmarks and they give them out to all the Catholic schools. And so the kids are praying for seminarians. But if they take it home, now mom and dad see the Serra Club writing these bookmarks. And maybe it just kind of opens a conversation. It gets people talking and gets it. So lots of different ways that you can do a printed item as well. Okay, now what? Do you feel like you just drank from the fire hose and you've got all this stuff, but now what do? Turn to page 28. If you only do 3 things, website, email, social media, still seems like a lot. Have a simple website, keep it current, have an email so you can communicate and do 1 social media, maybe 1 social media. Don't overwhelm your followers with emails either. If you're sending 2 or 3 emails a week, your best members are going to unsubscribe because that's too much. I can't even read all my emails. 1 to 2 a month, maybe right before your events, 2 weeks before your event, so people know they're coming up. Facebook, I would say at the most 2 to 3 posts a week. Like that's the most, because honestly, we don't have time for that. We're all volunteers. We're all doing other things as well. The main thing would just be being consistent. If you can be on there once a week, that's enough. And then websites be current. Yes.
One of the things that public front has is the ability to send an email to click an option to resend it so many days later to people who didn't respond
Yes.
to the first one. So
And that's a nice way to do it because if you say resend this to the people that didn't open it, it's kind of like you didn't actually get them the first time, so it's not like you're spamming them. The first people got it, they opened it, they didn't get the second email then as well. It's a good option that a lot of the platforms.
Another thing about like Facebook, keeping up with that 2 to 3 posts, they don't all have to be posts that you generated from scratch. You got a
Yes.
graphic in Canva. It could be you see your diocesan vocations office has posted something and then you repost
Yes.
it to your social media to make sure your followers cover it.
So the Archdiocese of Omaha doesn't have our own seminary. So I follow all of the seminaries that our men could go to. And so every time I see a picture that pops up, like here at Kenrick Lennon of one of our men, I will reshare it to the Serra Club, because you're exactly right. I don't need to create something. Plus it helps expand the reach of that post for them as well, because I'm sharing their post. So that's a great point.
Yeah, another question is there, in your experience, the best time of the day?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
It'll tell you.
Yes, so it's funny, I use a scheduler platform so I can see, it tells me for all of my different clients when is the most advantageous time of the day. And it used to always be the nighttime. It used to always be 7 p.m. But now I'm noticing across almost all of my clients, 10 a.m.
Mhm.
is the most active time. Yeah, when people are supposed to be working, that's exactly right. Yeah. But then like one of my clients, noon on Sunday is the best time for them. And so I will always post their content on Sundays.
I know this isn't part of the talk, not looking for instruction. Do you have a free product that you recommend for a simple newsletter? Because like we don't really have anybody that's doing an electronic newsletter right now. Somebody you publisher or something like that. Or something you recommend that you can just easily drop pictures in,
Canva.
like just a simple newsletter.
So a couple things. Canva, absolutely.
Canva does that?
Canva does that. If you plan to print it, like if you still do a printed newsletter that you take, you can do it on Canva, and it will create an electronic version that you can share on your website. Or Dawn's going to demo, I think this is part of your demo, that you can make your newsletter entirely in Club Express. I think that's one of the things that we're seeing a lot more of, is there's not as many printed newsletters, and it's really more of an email that
Oh, that's right.
it's, yeah,
Yeah.
an email. Okay. And Club Express does it. The other email platforms do it as well. To a website, you can do it on your website and just send a link. There's lots of free ways. I mean, I'm probably overwhelming you with all of the options. But yes, there are some good options that are free. So 3 things: keep your homepage current, use an email platform, post on social media, probably Facebook. Sometimes you're going to have a VP of communications that loves doing all of these things, that is good at doing all these things. Sometimes you're going to hopefully have another volunteer that might be willing to do it. But this would be my recommendation of who can manage each tool. As we all know, 80% of the work is done by like 20% of the people. So sometimes it's you're going to do it all. But talking to people, encouraging people to jump in and help, trying to get people to do, you do this, I'll do that. It's all just kind of what works for your club.
Is there a plan you would recommend communication going back to our themes of an annual calendar? Or what should happen when? Any thoughts on that?
So it's going to be largely based around what your events are. So like if you have, I'll use Omaha as an example. We have a lunch every Monday, not every Monday, every third Monday. Every third Monday, we have a lunch with a vocation speaker. And so the email will come out the first week of the month saying RSVP, and a reminder comes out the second week of the month saying this is your last day to RSVP so that you can get lunch. So it's really based on the cadence of your events. If you don't have a regular meeting, maybe you have holy hours, maybe you have masses, it's kind of the same thing. Think about, when is your event? I would say back it up 2 weeks for your first announcement, and maybe a week or 3 or 4 days for your second announcement. I know some people are late planners, 2 or 3 days that they're like, I'm going to go. That would be my recommendation. For social media, if you're trying to get on a regular cadence, I hear from a lot of people, they're like, well, what do I post? I don't even know what to post once a week. Go see who the saint of the day is. A lot of times they have a vocations tie. Go see what's going on across your diocese. Like you said, just share something that's going on across your diocese. Or highlight a seminarian, highlight a priest. There's lots of different things you can do. Sometimes it just takes a little bit, to your point, planning. Like lay out your 2026 calendar, say we've got World Day of Vocations coming up. We've got, ordination coming up. How do we highlight that, promote that?
Facebook and Instagram, you can schedule them out.
Yep.
To automatic posts on, up to 2 weeks ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, sit down and spend an hour designing a few posts, and you just schedule them all out in advance.
Ian McCormick just did the calendar for all the religious all around the world, and it was amazing. Is that different because you mailed it out, or did you do that? What program did you do that calendar? Is that?
It was an illustrator.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
that was beautiful, amazing.
Yeah, and the Adobe products are awesome. If you use Adobe products, that's pretty good. But Canva, obviously is the free version. There's also a design suite called Affinity. Like if you want to get more technical, it's like Adobe, but it's free. And it's got all of the different options in there as well. And Affinity now owns Canva, and so you can bounce back and forth between those, but you don't have to go that hard. Just get Canva, and it's pretty slick and easy. All right, I've got business cards up here if anybody wants to chat. Like I said, I'm not gonna hard sell you. I think it's fun. I love to hear what your Serra Club's doing, and maybe pick up some ideas. We can share ideas. If there's something I can do to help, great. Otherwise, I'm just glad to meet you all and have you all here today. And yes,
I just want to say one thing. I just did this while I was sitting here, so I really can do it, but I'm going to challenge all of you to go onto your page and put your picture on it.
Yeah.
Then we can see what it looks like. So go onto your Serra, whatever it is.
oh, on your membership page on Club Express.
Goes on there.
I just did it right now. So, because I was like, I am going to figure out how to do it. So I want to share
Express?
much is it so we all can see.
She's not good on.